So recently there's been a little bit of a trend going on in the VTuber space, and it's all to do with this one website called MyOshi. Now, if you don't know, MyOshi is a new thing that's kind of released earlier this year, and essentially it is a VTuber MySpace. And it's blown up pretty massively among a lot of VTubers, including many popular VTubers like Zentreya here saying, "I'm on VTuber MySpace, no RP allowed though because my mod said so." So again, this is being, kind of talked about by a lot of people. It has blown up to the point where people like Zentreya and more have been interacting with it, which I think is great. And obviously there's been so many different posts, and you can see there's stuff like forums and collabs and all of this kind of stuff. And essentially it's playing on that kind of nostalgia factor that a lot of people want in terms of their pages. And you can see so many people have been kind of customizing it with their own VTuber pictures and whatever. And yeah, it's supposed to be a space for like VTubers to set up their own little MySpace-esque page, which I think has been a really cool idea. And obviously some people have been debating how long this will last for, because of course, at the end of the day, places like Twitter and stuff are better just for kind of communicating and actually finding out real stuff. But I think the nostalgia factor and creating a cool page is actually really, really nice, and provides a kind of interesting, I guess, area for some people, right? And well, it seems like as well there has been some concerns to do with it, which I kind of wanted to kind of point out as well. But first of all, let's just go through the many posts about MyOshi that has been coming out from different kind of people, right? You got tons of VTubers saying, "I may be cooking. MyOshi is so fun so far," including Luminara as well, saying, "Have you ever heard of MyOshi Co?" The kind people at MyOshi gave us 100 codes to give to small VTubers. Reply to this tweet for a chance to get an invite code. So it seems like some spots are limited to actually get into the kind of site itself. Who sent site cursor for MyOshi? Obviously they found a cursor or whatever. So MyOshi is the cutest space for VTubers. Have been enjoying it so much. If anyone needs an invite code, let me know. Also PM on MyOshi for CSS help on customization if needed. Thank you so much, MyOshi, for creating this platform. That was much needed. So yeah, obviously a lot of people have been enjoying creating these kind of, I guess, very decorative, well-designed, profiles and whatever. People have been creating tutorials on how to make images and GIFs appear on the page, as it seems like a lot of people have their own ideas for different designs and whatever in terms of what it is. Some people have gone for like a more older style, right, with like a MyOshi page so far, whereas some have gone for something more like simple, or some have gone for like a big picture thing. Again, there's been so many people, so many VTubers, and obviously people saying, "I've stopped accepting everyone on MyOshi, too many randoms trying to add me, most likely never even heard of me. I don't care if it's part of MySpace culture back in the day. I just want to keep it being a fun space with my friends and mutuals." So some people already setting boundaries and stuff, right? But I did recently come across as well a kind of thread talking about a warning about MyOshi. Now, again, I think this should be taken with a heavy grain of salt. I think it is people just speculating things, and obviously people have been talking about the website itself, right? They're saying, are you referring to MyOshi here? Their site is so arse. They left introspections, a feature that lets me dump all their roots and models on. It's off by default in production, which means someone manually turned it on. Their privacy policy is so vague, despite them collecting IP addresses, geolocation, user agents, browser information. Now, that is what this person claims. Again, I'm not saying this is true or anything, but I think it is definitely something to kind of point out here, is the fact of the website security. And I'm not saying as well that they're doing this on purpose either. If this is the case, I'm not saying that this is necessarily then doing it on purpose. But some people are concerned for the website safety, and in terms of how secure it is. A lot of people were saying, "Yeah, I figured that site was iffy." So true, I'm going to use it for streams 100%. Obviously that's for a PNG tuber thing they're talking about. I think I reported it to them, and then they turned it off in a few hours, but I don't trust them anymore. If they can't keep their own stuff safe, I doubt they can keep my data safe. So yeah, it seems like this person knows a lot about websites and whatever, and they have actually contacted them to say, "Hey, this is a bad thing. This can be a problem, by the way." And then they turned it off. Now, I think it's good that they turned it off. Obviously, it seems like, to me, that seems like it was a genuine mistake. It seems like that was a genuine kind of mess up. Like they didn't mean to do that. It's not like they're being malicious in terms of trying to collect this kind of data or whatever. It was just a kind of, they didn't realize, right? But obviously they're saying, I don't really trust them if they don't understand that, which again, I can understand, right? I can understand why they would be a little bit concerned, right? Saying, you know, I discovered an API route that lets you create 100 invites. Said it it's depreciated or deprecated, but chances that it's still usable, which again is pretty crazy. And obviously, yeah, this person has really been going into it, right? Saying, I'm not even into this stuff or have any knowledge in it. I would bet they would have to RCE somewhere. The entire thing looks quite sketchy to me, and everyone I talked to about this. Which again, obviously, yeah, it seems like people have been kind of digging into it, saying, I don't see why they'd opt to be so vague with their privacy policy in TOS, though, unless they're doing something sketchy, which again, obviously, you know, these are just kind of things that they are claiming within a Discord chat message, right? That has just been posted on this subreddit. So you got to take things with a massive grain of salt. Now, a lot of people saying, I don't even understand what the point would be. Like, VTubers can already use existing social media that they get. But again, as I said, it's playing on the nostalgia factor. I feel like that is the reason why people like it so much. Saying if you don't like one of those, you should find another that people are already using. The best case scenario I see for this is that it might allow you to speedrun clout chasing collabs rather than organic growth. Be filled with new debut VTubers with 30 followers taying to friend requests with their Oshis, get in their DMs. Sounds like a nightmare for anyone established who probably already has deals and stuff like that, which again, I don't think they're too concerned about that. I think that you know, people can handle you know, smaller creators and things in the way that they want to. People say, I think right now it's mainly running on the nostalgia factor. People saying it's self-segregation, and if someone wants to be a VTuber anti, there are plenty of names in one place. Also, if you're already growing, you probably have a reason to be on there. Which obviously, yeah, some people have been kind of finding, I guess, you know, some kind of positives to it as well. And people say, when I first saw it, it gave me vibe-coded vibes, no pun intended, that I felt really skeptical about MyOshi. Not any particular reason, I just had a bad feeling, decided to listen to my gut. That I don't see anything wrong with VTubers wanting their own MySpace type of thing. I love MySpace so much, and I don't think there is anything wrong with it, with the actual idea and stuff. I just think it is the general security of the website that some people are a little bit concerned about. So, of course, they have been mentioning, though, to kind of add a rebuttal to that, I guess. They've been mentioning the fact that they have been having some big updates coming out tomorrow, and that they've been updating things a little bit too early with some more info on that. So I'm hoping that comes with some more security features and stuff to kind of, you know, fix things and kind of make things a little bit more safer. But again, obviously, you can understand why there is some concern, and that is the reason why I haven't really gone over there and tried it out or anything like that, because, again, I don't really want to risk any of that kind of stuff. I feel like, you know, if they do grab onto that kind of stuff, it could be pretty bad. Not you know, saying that they 100% have or anything like that, but, you know, I'm still trying to be safe, right? And I can understand why a lot of other VTubers would want to be safe and be cautious whenever going into something like this, even if the website is totally fine, and even if the website is totally okay and perfect, right? Because again, I'm 99% sure, you know, obviously this, you know, what they're doing is a good thing, and what they're doing is, you know, they genuinely want to provide a fun and nostalgic time for VTubers, right? But obviously, it's just the kind of unintentional security risk that maybe some people have in terms of the website itself, and, you know, the kind of issues they have with that. But again, obviously, we have to keep an eye on it. For now, it seems like people have been fine. There's been any issues or whatever. But, you know, potentially this could come up later on down the line. You never know. But yeah, I just kind of want to talk about it a bit because it has been something that's been trending in the VTubing space quite a bit recently, and I did find it quite interesting, right? But yeah, I mean, that is essentially all I got for this video. If you guys did enjoy it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go to GameStop, use my code Kazo, get 10% off. Again, they got a ton of really cool stuff over there. Definitely recommend checking it out. And just for this week, they have 20% off, so definitely go and check it out now, because 20% off, I mean, you know, you get even more money off using code Kazo. So yeah, that's all I got. I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.